Vladimir Putin envisions a world where Russia reclaims its former glory, a vision deeply rooted in his perception of historical greatness and national pride. He seeks to dismantle the United States-led global order established after World War II, which he believes has marginalized Russia's role on the global stage. This new order, in Putin's view, would favor authoritarian regimes and strongman leaders, creating a world where power is centralized and dissent is crushed. Russia, under his leadership, would be a dominant force on the world stage, not just through military might but also through strategic alliances and influence. Putin's ambitions extend beyond mere economic or military might. He aims to create a sphere of influence that rivals the West in every aspect. He seeks to reshape the global balance of power, positioning Russia as a pivotal player in international affairs. He aims to weaken democratic institutions and promote a system where might makes right, challenging the very foundations of liberal democracy. This vision is rooted in his belief that the West, particularly the United States, has exploited Russia for too long, imposing sanctions and political pressure. The collapse of the Soviet Union left a void in global power dynamics, a void that Putin is determined to fill with a new form of Russian influence. Putin seeks to fill this void not by replicating the Soviet model but by establishing a new form of Russian dominance, one that is adaptable to the modern world. He envisions a multipolar world where Russia stands as a counterweight to the West, balancing the scales of global power. This ambition drives his actions on the international stage, from military interventions to diplomatic maneuvers, all aimed at restoring Russia's status as a global superpower. The fall of the Soviet Union in 1991 was a pivotal event in Putin's life, marking the end of an era and the beginning of a new, uncertain chapter for Russia. As a former KGB agent, he witnessed firsthand the Soviet Union's decline and eventual disintegration. This period was marked by a loss of national pride and a sense of betrayal among many Russians. This experience left an indelible mark on his worldview, shaping his beliefs about power, weakness, and the importance of national strength. Putin's perception of the West as a manipulative force grew stronger during these years. For Putin, the Soviet collapse represented a humiliation for Russia, a once great superpower brought to its knees. The lowering of the Soviet flag was not just a symbolic act but a personal affront to his sense of national identity. He views it as a tragedy orchestrated by the West, particularly the United States, to weaken Russia and capitalize on its vulnerabilities. This belief has fueled his distrust of Western intentions and policies. This narrative of victimhood and resentment forms a cornerstone of his ideology. It has been a driving force behind his political strategies and his efforts to restore Russia's standing on the global stage. The economic and political chaos that engulfed Russia in the aftermath of the Soviet collapse further solidified Putin's convictions. The sight of empty store shelves and widespread poverty was a stark reminder of the nation's fragility. He saw the weakness of the fledgling Russian democracy and the vulnerability of a nation grappling with economic hardship. The struggles of ordinary citizens during this time deeply influenced his views on governance and stability. This fueled his desire for a strong, centralized government capable of restoring order and projecting power. Putin's vision for Russia became one of resurgence, where national pride and strength would be paramount. His journey from a KGB agent to the leader of Russia is a testament to his unwavering commitment to this vision. The defining moments of the early 1990s continue to shape his policies and his approach to both domestic and international affairs. Putin's actions are driven by a complex interplay of personal ambition and historical grievances. His rise to power is not just a personal journey, but a reflection of Russia's tumultuous history and its quest for respect on the global stage. He craves power and respect for Russia, seeking to restore it to its former glory as a global superpower. This ambition is deeply rooted in a vision of a strong, influential Russia that commands attention and respect from other nations. This desire is fueled by a deep-seated resentment towards the West, which he believes has consistently sought to undermine and exploit Russia. The memories of the Cold War and the subsequent years of perceived Western dominance have left a lasting impact on his psyche. Putin's worldview is rooted in a zero-sum mentality, where any gain for the West is perceived as a loss for Russia. This adversarial perspective shapes his approach to international relations, making him wary of Western intentions. This perspective colors his foreign policy decisions and his interactions with Western leaders. He often approaches these interactions with a mix of caution and calculated aggression, always looking for ways to turn situations to Russia's advantage. He views diplomacy as a tool for advancing Russian interests, not as a means of fostering genuine cooperation. For Putin, international forums and diplomatic engagements are arenas where he can assert Russia's position and challenge Western narratives. Putin's personal experiences, particularly his KGB training, have instilled in him a distrust of the West and a belief in the importance of secrecy and deception. These formative years have shaped his strategic thinking and his approach to governance. He is a master strategist, skilled at manipulating events to his advantage and exploiting weaknesses in his adversaries. His ability to read situations and people, combined with his willingness to take bold actions, makes him a formidable player on the world stage. Ultimately, Putin's leadership is a blend of ambition, resentment, and strategic acumen, all aimed at securing Russia's place as a dominant force in global affairs.